Okay, we are at the bridge of Misty. And this is where it's really critical for you to check out the vocal versions of the tunes so that you have a little bit of a thread of understanding what's going on melodically in the bridge. I am not an expert on the lyrics. I think it goes, people say that people say that you are leading me on, but that's just what I want you to do. Ba 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 ba, hopelessly I'm lost. Something, I don't know. That's why I'm following you. Walk my way. Something like that. I don't know the words, even though I've heard it a million times. I should have printed the words out. Let's look at how we get into the bridge. Now, I do a little thing with harmonics. It's actually, it helps the guitar ring. And once you get it under your fingers, it's pretty easy to do. It's going to be a 3/4 melody again, so the rhythmically. So watch. 1, this is the pickup. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. People do they go down. Okay. Now, let me show you where that, first let me show you the fingering. I'm going, and you don't have to do this with the harmonic, but for me, then I have more right hand fingers on the guitar. I can get comfortable. And then I've got 2 open strings ringing. And it just makes the melody flow and sound a little bit more open. Okay, which is why I finger it that way. I'm going to show you the fingering first. Put your thumb and middle on the D and high E string. Even if you don't understand where the rhythm is just yet, I'll demonstrate for you in a minute. So watch. Now my thumb is still here, and first finger. And then I get up into an A minor chord. Okay. So now watch. Let's roll back to this D6 chord. I don't know if you can see that in the camera. So that you can hear the melody of this melodic pickup. Okay. Chick it to 1, 2, ready, and zoom. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. One more time. This is the last video. We saw this. Now here we go. Okay, so now I'm going to show you what, now we're actually in the first 4 bars. This is a little bit tricky for the right hand, so make sure you go light. We want to have bing, 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 ooh, bing. Again, it's our 3/4 rhythm. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we're going to try to keep boom, 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 boom. In the, there's not really a walking bass anymore. It's just the bottom part. I never nail that quite as perfectly as I'd like to, but okay. There it is. Now watch. Next measure. So really what we're doing is we're doing in like an A minor. We're outlining. We're not playing Stairway to Heaven, but we're getting that movement and we're weaving it in the bass line. Now watch. Now in the music that you're going to see on the screen, you're going to see 4-note chords. But what I'm doing is I'm not really even hearing myself play these lowest notes in the chords. I'm either strumming with a finger, and usually only with this kind of strumming do I get the top 3 strings. Okay, so, but I like to finger these shapes. It either mutes the string, or if we hit it, a right note will sound. Okay, let me show you the shapes. This looks like a diminished. It's E7 flat 9. That might be hard for you to do. You can do that instead if this is too hard for you. That's an A minor 7. And then another diminished shape. See how the bass is going boop, 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 but the first one is syncopated. Comes between. And I'm not really worried about keeping these notes ringing very long because it'll get too muddy in the bass if they ring over. So I make them a little short just so that they're distinct on the attacks. Okay. Now, watch. Leave the second, third, and fourth, except the bass note comes down to D. Okay, I'm going to Okay, I'm going a little bit fast. Let me. E minor 7. The voices in the middle are just filler. This is mainly about the top and bottom voice. Next, bar on the 8th fret, and we're going to do. But you're only going to play, you know, only pinch your middle and thumb, probably. The whole purpose of that is that we're getting in the bass, and we're getting. So we're getting nice motion between the outer voices, and the middle of the chord is just filler. Okay, and then goes a step further. Boom, 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 boom in the bass, in the melody. So that's built into these chord shapes that I've given you. Okay, let's do it one time now from this D6, the last 4 bars, and we're going to stop here at the G major 7. People say that you leave me on, ba 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 ba. That's what the melody's supposed to sound like. All right, here we go. 1, 2, last 4, the A. Okay, we're going to stop there. There was one little important detail that I left out. I should have articulated. I'm going. See how my pinky is going? Bow, bow. I'm changing the melody just with my pinky sliding. People say that you're leading. I think that's actually not even part of the original melody, but I do it. Bling, 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 go down. Alrighty, let's go on to the next video. Okay, so we are at bars 5 through 8 of the bridge. The last video left us on sort of a G major 6th chord. Let me explain what's going on here in the left hand, because I might not have been clear in the last video. So you'll notice that I'm barring the full 5th fret. But I'm playing only the G bass note, and that's because of bass notes that we're going to need right away. So let me explain. I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and I'm plucking that G when the hammer hits. 1, 2, 3, 4. See how I did that? I'm going to have to show you just simply in real time how I play it. There's a little bit of a back strike. A picture's worth 1,000 words, so just watch how I do it. I'll take it from the shout. Ready? 1, 2, ready, and. Okay, now let's just stop right there. Bam, bam, boom, bam. And then you can see that I put a bunch of chord changes. And then this is going to be boom, 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 the next part of the bridge. Let me explain to you briefly what's happening. You're going to notice these big chord changes they're built like this for the left hand so that I can just sloppily strum with my right hand. Okay. See what I just did there? We're still on G major 7. Okay. Now, all of this is filler. I'm going B minor 7. This is, it's a B flat 13. This is kind of a tricky chord if you're not used to it. Then an A minor 7. Then don't worry about that. All by itself it sounds kind of ugly. That's A7 sharp 9, but that's to get our bass line and melody to match. And then that's going to be our pickup to our next melody note. Again, I'm just going to play you the music because it'll make sense when you see it go by. And if you change it a little bit, that's fine. Okay, these chordal figures, those are not part of the composed tune. That's just part of my big band jazz combo kind of filler, because nothing's actually happening there in the melody. Just do what I want you to do, and then there's a whole lot of nothing right there. So we've got to fill it up with some rhythm. Okay, let's take it once again from the shout, leading in to the first 4 bars of the bridge. 1, 2, ready, and. And then we're at the next pickup. Okay? The next part of the bridge. I'm showing you what I do, but here's a breaking point where, you looking yourself at the chord changes on the paper and knowing the melody are going to help you understand what I'm doing. If you are not familiar with the tune, all of this will seem like a whole lot of a whole lot of nothing, a whole lot of confusion. So please make sure you're familiar with the bridge of the tune. Alrighty, let's go on to the next video. Okay, we are at bars 9 through 12 of the bridge. And we've done half of the bridge already. This is going to be similar, but we're going to venture into some new harmonic territory, so get ready. Similar phrase, but different harmony. We have a similar pickup melodically that we did previously. Except we're now going to go to a G sharp minor 7 chord, just to make things tricky. Okay, so here we go. Watch how I'm doing this. And I'll play it in rhythm for you once I show you the fingerings. Same thing as the last time. And now watch. Pinky slides up to the 9th fret. Okay, so once again, I'm smushing the 2nd finger. I don't know if that's possible for you to do that. If that's too tricky, see if you can play that and mute the B string. I play that. But I've got a 2nd finger that can bend back pretty easily. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, bam, bam. Except when you come B and you come back, see if you can adjust that finger and grab the 5th of the chord. This is pretty advanced, so if you can't do that, that's fine. I'm just showing you what I do, and sometimes I nail it and sometimes I don't. So don't. 1, 2, 3, 4. See how I just switched? Okay. Now comes a couple of chord changes where I do it with thumb over the neck. I'll give you an alternative though. I play C sharp sus. That's pretty tricky. I've gone down to C in the bass, C7 flat 5. I'm going to play that for you in time so you see where it's going. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to end up on a B minor 9 chord. That's why I'm... Now, if that's too tricky for you to grab the way that I grabbed it, here are the alternate fingerings. Watch. Okay. You can just grab an F sharp 9 chord. So I'm barring at the 9th fret, and then an F sharp 9, and then into B minor 9. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll play the alternate. Okay. If this thumb over the top is not cool for you. Okay, so now after the B minor 9, that's why I do a stretchy kind of a chord. So I keep the bar, but I open up, so I move it down so I can get the lowest E string, and then it's E sus. And then I'm grabbing high E there. That might look like a crazy stretch, but I actually think that's a stretch that most of you can do. You have to bring your hand a little forward and bring your nose down to the neck a little bit. Drop your shoulder. But that, I don't think that's an unreasonable stretch. Okay. What's tricky is getting there cleanly out of the B minor 9. That's what the melody's going to do that. I'm going to play this for you slowly now. These 4 bars with the similar harmonic melody pickup. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then that brings us to where the next video is going to start. Let's do the whole bridge up until this point, nice and slow. I'm going to lead in from the last Harlem organ shout figure, and so that you can see all these components of the bridge up to this point hang together. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, ready, and show. Okay, that's what we're up to so far. Let's go to the next video to get the last 4 bars of the bridge. All right. All righty. Well, we are almost done with the bridge. We're at the last 4 bars. Let's take a look and see what's happening here. We were at this E sus. Okay, and now watch what we're going to do. Put the 2nd finger down at the 8th fret and slide it up to the 10th. We're going to go into an F sharp minor 7th chord. Then I'm going to go down to an F major 7. I'm going to show you exactly how we play it. And now I've got a couple of voicings that you might not have seen before. This is a B major 7. I don't really know if one can hear the A string so well, but I bar the whole 5th fret. Playing 3rd finger here, 4th finger here. Okay. If that's too tricky for you, you can just play bar that. Actually, that sounds pretty nice. And then I play, I'm going to do these on the shout. Okay, that's one possibility. If you're quick enough, now I don't have this in the tablature, but if you're quick enough, if you can grab that, sorry, I'm off the screen a little bit. Okay. It's kind of a nice sound, but you can just go. Okay. So let me show you what happens here. Let's go back to the E sus. Let's do it in time now. So what am I doing here? I'm doing melody, thumb, thumb, and then 2 notes at once. So it's going 1, 2, ready, and ding, bong, boom. And that's going to be our third A section after that. Let's take it from this where we pick up with the harmonics and go into this G sharp minor 7 chord, and I'll play it straight through until the end of the bridge, so you can hear all of this stuff hang together. Ready? 1, 2, 3, and triplet. And then we're back into the third and final A section of the song statement. Okay, let's go on to the next video and look at what happens in the third A section. Alrighty, we are now on the third A section of Misty. So far we've done A section, bridge. We're now in the third A section, and it's going to be exactly like the first A section where the bass goes. We're going to play identical because it's already enough information. Rather than adding anything new to the content, we're just going to play what we know. We're going to end the melody with this shout that's the figure on the D6, so that our melody note is that. Now watch what's going to happen. Look at what I did now on the last bop, 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 bop. I'm playing my 3rd and 4th finger here on the 10th fret. And we're going to do a solo break. Okay? Watch what we're going to do. Then, and then thumb. And you can mute some of those notes. And then we're going to come down to the 1st fret. So I don't really nail that last thumb note perfectly, but it can be a little sloppy and bluesy. Okay, and this is kind of a cool sound now as we go into the solo chorus. We have the F up top, and we have the F sharp down low. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come out of the bridge, and I'm going to play you that last A section with this solo break so you can hear the riff in the right place. I'm going to take it from this spot in the bridge with the F sharp minor. 1, 2, ready, and... Third A. the solo break. Okay, so let's go on to the next video where I start showing you the solo over the first 2A sections. All right. All righty, welcome back. So in the last video, I showed you this little bluesy solo break. And that's how I launch into what sounds like an improvised section on Misty. I'm going to break the improvised, and I say it in quotes because it sounds improvised, but it's not. I know exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to break this into 2 sections for you. And I think that you can handle the first section if you can handle the tune. There's not too many difficulties. It's pretty straight ahead. Let's do that first. If you're comfortable with that, you can do that same thing on 2A sections. If you're feeling up to the challenge, I will also show you the sort of noodly, real jazz guitarish kind of thing that I do. But I don't want you to get stuck on any of this stuff. Please make this as simple as possible and stick to the melody as much as you need to if what I'm saying leads you to any kind of frustration or discouragement. Because I'm just going to show you what I do, and you might have to judge how far into this you want to go. So anyway, like I said, this first part, I believe, is something that's easy enough, I think, for you to handle. Okay, so we've done this solo break. And now we're going to do 1st fret, and we're going to do a walk-up bass line, starting on the F sharp. Let's just take it that far. Now this is supposed to be like an A minor 9 voicing. It's easier to just do with 2 open strings. Sometimes I try to add some notes. But for our purposes, let's just use open strings, okay? A 1, 2, solo break. Now watch what I do. So I went. Okay. I do A minor 9 to D9 to a G major 7. Okay, these are all in the tabs. Okay. Okay, one more time. 1, 2, ready, and. Okay, and if you notice, I kind of fudged that last note to stay in time. So you can always fudge notes to stay in time. Okay, one more time from the solo break. 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now after this, watch what I do. This is actually, we're getting into bars 5 through 8 of the solo chorus. I'm going to do it with this rhythm. Watch this now. Blip, ba-do-do, bip, bip, ba-da-da. Check it out. 1, 2, 3, and. Okay. Now, technically, what I'm doing with the right hand when I got to do stuff like this, because I don't want other stuff ringing, is I'm try to relax as much as I can over here, and I put my thumb on the G string, and with this inside part of my thumb, I'm muting everything so that the only 2 strings that can ring are the B and E string. Everything else is muted. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing with minor. Okay. What I'm going to do now is I will play it from the solo break up until these little melodies on the G chords, so you can get a sense of how all of this is hanging together. Okay. This is going to now be the first 8 bars of the solo section. 1, 2, ready, and. Okay, so let's go on to the next video. Alrighty, we are back, and we're going to continue with the solo section of Misty. I'm going to show you what I do after this section on the G chords, which we covered in the last video. This is going to pretty much be the melody to the tune, but stripped down into a single line phrasing with a couple of bluesy bends. So we were at now watch. Okay, we're on the B string, and I don't know if you can see with the right hand over here. Once again, for something like this, I tend to be very careful. I've got a thumb on the G string. I've got some kind of finger on the high E string, so that the only thing that can ring is that B string, okay? And now here's what I do. Boom, to the 4th finger, then slide it down to the 3rd fret. Then I add that, flesh out a B minor 7 chord. Okay. And now, still on the B string, I go 5th fret, 7th fret, and then I bend. Okay, to get a little expressiveness. And then I do an A7 chord, just 2-note chord. Watch what I do. I usually slide like that. So, because if I do this with my thumb, that allows the B string to ring a little bit. And then I add that, and then landing on my 4th finger, bo, 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 bo. It's going to be an F sharp chord. Just follow what I'm doing, and then I'll do it in time for you. Okay. Then. Now these last 2 changes with this bum, let me show you what that is. That's only if you want to do the extra advanced single line stuff, which will be in the next video. But you could actually do this same thing for 2 A sections. And I'm kind of making this up right now. I'm improvising this lesson because I want to make this manageable for you. I don't want to give you something that's way too hard. So you could do the solo break a second time. So what I'm going to do for you now is I'm going to do 2 A sections with this idea. Okay, so let's start on this last shout figure. First aid. We can just do it again. Second time. Then you'll have to end like this because we would go to the bridge. Okay, so that is one possibility for the solo section. Now the other possibility, the more advanced, if you want, and I'm by no means don't feel any pressure to do this advanced part. Let me demonstrate to you just the first part, ending with these changes that I showed you, okay? From the shout, a 1, a 2, a 1, 2, ready, and. Bang, and it's going to keep going into some rather complex jazz soloing stuff. So the next video, I'm going to show you the solo idea. I will slow it down. I'm not going to do a total talk through of every note because it'll take too long. I'm going to play it real slow for you. You have to determine if you're in over your head with it, okay? Because learning just even that solo thing could be too big of a project that might hang you up from even playing the tune. So, but it's just for thoroughness. I just want to show you what I do in case you're interested, okay? Because again, this should be a fingerstyle guitar site and not a jazz improvisation site, at least at the moment. Okay, so if you're feeling up to it, if you want to look at the next video, great. And if you want to skip it, you can skip it and just leapfrog over the next video if it's too much for you. All right. All righty. Well, I guess you've dared to click play on this video. This is sort of a tribute to Joe Pass, this kind of improvising, which I do on the second A section of Misty. Joe Pass did a couple records one is called Virtuoso, and I think the other Virtuoso Volume 2, where solo guitar, he just went for it and did some very complex improvisations where the listener, you, the listener, have no bass, drums, piano, anything behind him. He's just doing solo lines. So if you've never played anything like this, this is just going to be an intro to it, and I'm not really going into any theory. I'm just going to show you what I do on this tune. I vary it from performance to performance ever so slightly. These solo lines fit the chord changes to Misty and fit the structure. Okay. As a solo fingerstyle guy, I limit these to just short episodes on gigs because I don't want to lose the listeners in a heavy improvising kind of thing. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play this once up to tempo so you can kind of hear how it would fit an A section to Misty. And then I will slow it way, way down and play it for you. This is what it would sound like up to tempo. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, ready, and... Okay, so similar to the last little solo thing, once we get here, I refer back to the melody. But these techniques of doing single line stuff, pretty advanced. I mean, I did that for a long time. And so I only want you to do it if you're comfortable with it. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to go ultra, ultra slow. And then I'm going to try to do it even slower than slow so that you can just watch it go by. This is in the help file. No doubt you'll need to look at it on paper in front of you. Probably doing it with the video here is not quite enough, but at least you'll see my left hand fingerings. Okay, here we go. Super slow. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and shoot. 1, 2. Let's just do those first 2 bars. Okay, the first note is coming on the end of 2. So it's going 1, 2, bang, bang, bang. Then one more time. 1, 2, ready, and a 1, 2, bang. Okay, now that note is the first note of the 3rd bar. Now let me show you the fingering that I do here. Watch this. So that's pretty sneaky. I'm doing fingers in the same fret. I'm going. Once you get that into your mind, it's not too hard. Okay. So now the 3rd and 4th bar. Now that you can't stretch this, you just got to jump down to the 2nd fret. Okay. 3rd and 4th bar. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Whole thing. 1, 2, ready, and 1, 2, bang. Okay, now I'm doing that all with my index and middle over here, and I'm trying to mute any other strings that could possibly ring. Next part, we're going to do a little arpeggiation over a G major 7 chord. We're going to go bo, boo, doo, dee, doo, dee. Sorry, I didn't count you in for that. 1, 2, 3, bow, boo, doo, dee, doo, doo, doo. So it's the same idea, an octave up. So I'm actually going. rhythm sounds like this. Let me speed it up so you can hear the rhythm in the right place. It's coming on the and 3, and that slur is very, very important. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Then we do the same thing over a G minor with a major 7. I break up the rhythm a little differently so it's not too predictable. We go 1, 2, 3. Let me play it for you from this G major outlining so you can hear it in full going to the end. 1, 2, 3. And then we're home free with the melody. And actually, I don't pluck all these pull-offs. I played it for you a little wrong. That's how I intend on doing it. Okay, full single line. I call this scrambled eggs. Full single line scrambled eggs until we get to there. Okay. Matter of fact, I'm going to play the full single line scrambled eggs that will get us all the way back to the bridge. Okay. So I'm going to play the whole second A. This is the advanced A. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Look at how I ended that. I went boom, 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 boom. Harmonic. Because now we can take our hands off the guitar, catch our breath. It'll be like this. Bing, 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 da, da. And then we're back into the bridge and another third A. Like I said, or I don't know if I said this, at least I thought I said it. I played jazz guitar for a long time. This kind of stuff is home base to me. So please don't get hung up here. If you're interested in it, of course, be interested in it. Have a little bit of interest, but don't let this single line noodly stuff be a stumbling block for you to actually play the beautiful tune and melody. Okay, I don't want you to get stuck here. Okay, if you just want to mess around with it a little bit, keep chipping away at it, that's cool. Okay, just figured I'd show you what I do. Okay, let's take it from this thing, going into the complicated single line. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then we're going to be back into the bridge for the second full run through of the tune Misty. So just to recap, we did melody only. Then this solo, however you choose to deal with it, is the first two A sections. Now we're coming up on the second time we do the bridge and the second time we do the third A. Alrighty, let's go on to the next video.